Motorsport is generally thought of as a hobby for the rich, but a new form of competition has been set up which is open to anyone who's got £200 and a free day. I'm here at Gainsborough to find out what the Michelin 2000 competition is all about. The competition is held in a disused airfield and drivers begin their challenge with a drive in a Renault Clio Sport. The competition is structured in stages. Entrants are put through test sessions in a preliminary round and are judged on lap times, driving techniques and fitness by a panel of top experts. Here to tell us a little bit more about what's in store for those wannabe racing drivers is Tim Sugden, the guy who came up with the idea in the first place. Hiya Tim. So what can people expect from the day?
The concept of the scholarship is that absolutely anybody can get a chance to be a racing driver. As you know, getting into motor racing is incredibly difficult. It's like trying to be a film star. Anybody can come along, they can have a go, they can drive a car, and if they do well enough, they progress through the competition, and ultimately somebody, whoever that lucky person is, wins a fully sponsored year in motor racing. They have 3 sessions of driving in the Clios, straight on the track. There's very little frills, there's very little messing about. They're straight in the cars doing the bit that they want to do.
So who's eligible to take part in the scheme?
As long as they're over 16 years old, then that's fine. We have no upper age limit. We've had 70-year-old people doing the competition in years gone by.
What's the response to the competition been like?
Some people teach it just as a day out where they're actually going to get a chance to drive a racing car, which is a dream for a lot of people. Other people are sort of more focused and they've got their eye on that ultimate prize. Nick Keynes, that won the championship last year, or won the scholarship rather last year, has this year won the Vectra Championship, so who knows where his career's going from there.
I'm now with Nick Keynes, who actually won the scholarship last year. How did that feel?
It was, I don't even think it's sunk in yet, really, to be honest with you. Being back here now, I was just one of the punters last year, and it's an amazing feeling. It's been a great year, actually, it really has.
So what do you think the importance of scholarships like this actually is?
It's hard to say, I mean, and obviously the unique thing about it is it gives someone like me the chance to go motor racing.
And had you had any experience before at all?
No, I mean, I was obviously I was a massive enthusiast, but I'd never raced at all. So to go in to have a season of racing paid for nothing, and yeah, to give me a chance to race at all these circuits I've been to as a fan was just amazing. I'm in the position now where if I want to carry on racing, I've got to now, I'm like the rest of them, I've got to raise money. I don't think I'd win it twice in a row, so I wish there were a few more scholarships like this and maybe I could try and win one of those. But no, it's given me a good sort of starting ground. I've had obviously some great help from Tim Sugden and the team, so having the accolade of being a scholarship winner behind you does help you when you're looking for a drive.
So as we go out onto the circuit, remember obviously it's all about being as smooth as possible and trying to live with the car and drive and keep the whole thing nice and calm and nice and smooth. It's never been down to being erratic, it's about maintaining momentum. So as we come into this first corner, it's a right-hander, you've got to be across to the left-hand side of the circuit. You want to be down to 3rd gear, down to 2nd gear, and then turn in nice and late, getting as near as you can there to the cone and also to the tyre there, and then letting the car drift across to the right. That's really good, excellent. Back across to the left-hand side for the hairpin, up to 3rd, that's good. Now down to 2nd. Stay on the brake as you turn in, just to help the car turn in, and be really patient with the power as you go through here. Feed the power on then, that's good, into 3rd. Look ahead of yourself as much as you can. What you've got to remember is a car just wants to keep going in a straight line. All the laws of physics tell it that it just wants to keep going in a straight line. It doesn't really want to know about turning left or turning right. So many people drive a car like they hate it. Try and think of the car as a friend and ask it to do things gently. And if you work with the car and you're nice to the car, it'll be nice to you. If you fight it, it'll fight you.
Okay. I feel like I'm almost like dancing with the car, you know? It's like you feel everything nice and smoothly and...
Well, as long as it's not hip-hop dancing, then we'll be alright.
I don't like hip-hop dancing anyway.
We want a nice ballroom waltz or something.
Tim was fortunate to start his career in karting at the age of 12, and his prize money helped him become British kart champion in 1980 and captain of the British team until 1985. A lot of talent remains undiscovered because of the costs of getting into the sport. It's a catch-22 situation. You can't compete without sponsorship, and sponsors are unwilling to part with the cash unless you can prove your worth. I'm here with Claire now, who is in for this scholarship prize. What do you think your chances are, Claire?
Hopefully pretty good. There's a lot of men racing it and they don't reckon I can beat them, but I'm hopefully going to prove them wrong. That's my aim of the day anyway.
Well, I've just been speaking to Tim and he says that girls are better learners than boys.
I agree with him. That's what I'm here for, to prove it.
So what are your aspirations long-term racing driving?
Well, I race autocross at the moment and I really like it, but I'd love to go a step further, and circuit racing's the best way.
It's not just about going out there and booting it, you've got to treat the car with respect, get the power on at the right times.
And Don, you've just got out of the car. What actually did they teach you when you first sat in about your position and things?
Well, normally when I would sit in a car, I would just put the seat as far back and be in a straight position, but they like you to be up close to the steering wheel so that your arms have got like a slight bend. It's a comfier position, a safer position to drive with. Means you've got more control over the car,
What do the instructors actually teach you while you're going round then?
They show you the lines to pick going into corners, what gears to select for the corners, your braking points, just everything.
So Tim, how have the drivers got on this morning then?
I think really well. I mean, obviously I only know how the people did that were in our group, but we had 3 people in our group, including yourself, and I think the general standard was very good actually. They immediately think they're expected to go fast, and of course I think almost they're a bit disappointed when they first get in and you slow them right down, because that's not what, I didn't come to be slowed down. But they realise then that way they learn, and obviously ultimately when we end up letting them go much faster later in the day, they can go much faster, much safer, and ultimately go much quicker than they could have done in the first place.
Maybe motorsport is for the rich, but with schemes like this being set up, it means that the rest of us can have a go without taking out a second mortgage.